Ms.S.Roopavathi, Assistant Professor, Department of Corporate Secretariat. Today I am going to deal with the chapter Capital Gain. Capital gain, it is the fourth major heads of income and it is accessible under section 45. Let us see the meaning of capital gain. So as per section 45, any profit or gain arising from transfer of capital asset effected in the previous year is chargeable under capital gain. So the basis of charge, you can see the conditions for the charge is you should have a capital asset. Second, there should have occurred some transfer, and third, you should have done in the financial year, and the fourth, you should have got any gain or profit, and it should not be exempted under all these sections. So these are the conditions to be followed for charging under capital gain. So let's see the meaning of capital asset. So capital asset is defined and it includes any kind of a property. The property, it can be a movable property or immovable property. It can be a fixed one or a circulating one, or it can be a tangible or intangible asset. So what do you mean by this intangible asset? You all know the tangible where you can see the asset, intangible which you cannot see or feel or touch. Such assets are called as intangible asset. Example of intangible asset are goodwill, patent, copyright, etc. So, but here also certain assets are exempted from computing the capital gain. The assets are stock in trade or raw material, and any asset which is held for personal use. Here also certain assets are exempted, like jewelry, sculpture, drawing, any painting, any artwork or any archaeological items will be excluded. And next one is the rural agricultural land, gold deposit bonds. All these are exempted asset. So next, coming to the meaning of transfer. What do you mean by transfer for the purpose of capital gain? So if you have done any sale or exchange or a relinquishment of asset or extinguishment of any right or the compulsory acquisition under the law. Sometimes government will compulsory acquire your property, that comes under compulsory acquisition under the law. All these are considered as transfer for the purpose of capital gain. And what will not be considered as transfer, like if any HUF have distributed the capital asset to its members, or any asset has been given by way of a gift, or any company have transferred the capital asset to its subsidiary, or any asset has been transferred by way of amalgamation, all these will not be considered as a transfer for the purpose of capital gain. So let's next we'll see the kinds of capital asset. For the purpose of computation of capital gain, the capital asset, first let us classify the capital asset into two types. The first one is the financial asset and the non-financial asset. So financial asset and the non-financial asset. What is the meaning of financial asset? The asset which are more liquid in nature are called as financial asset. Examples: shares, debentures, bonds, mutual funds, and zero coupon bonds. So what is this zero coupon bonds? So zero coupon bonds is nothing but a bond which has a deep discount, will be called as a zero coupon bonds. All these are considered as a financial asset. This financial asset you have to again classify into short-term asset and a long-term asset. How will you identify whether it is a short-term asset or a long-term asset? Depending upon the holding period of the asset. So holding period is nothing but it's a period from the date of purchase and the date of sale will be called as the holding period. Here for the financial asset, if the holding period is less than or equal to 12 months, then it is called as a short-term asset, and if the holding period is more than 12 months, then it will be put under long-term asset. But for unlisted shares, the holding period will be it's not 12 months, it is 24 months. So if the holding period is less than 24 months, then it is the short term. More than 24 months, it is the long term. Now coming next to the non-financial asset, any other assets will be put under non-financial asset. Again, you have to classify the non-financial asset into two, short-term asset and the long-term asset. Here, the holding period, it is not 12 months, you have to consider 36 months. If your holding period is less than or equal to 36 months, then it is a short term, and if the holding period is more than 36 months, then it is a long term asset. And next is, let us see the format for calculating your short term capital gain. So this is the format. So first you have to consider the sales consideration. It's nothing but the sales price. So you have to take the sales price, and from the sales consideration you have to deduct the expenses on sales. Expenses on sales, what are the expenses which are incurred in order to transfer your property, like the brokerage expenses, stamp duty expenses, or the traveling expenses. All these things will come under your expenses on sales, which will give you the net sales consideration. After getting the net sales consideration, you have to deduct the cost of acquisition. Cost of acquisition is nothing but, what is acquisition? Acquisition is nothing but the purchase price. So you have to deduct the purchase price minus cost of improvement. You have to deduct the improvement cost also. Improvement is nothing but, after purchasing your asset, you would have done some addition to your property, or improvement would have been done. So that is called as cost of improvement. That also should be subtracted from the net sales consideration, which will give you the short-term capital gain. And short-term capital gain, you can claim exemptions like 54B, D, G, GA. And this exemption we will be looking in the later classes. So after deducting the exemptions, you will be getting the net short-term capital gain. This is the format for short-term capital gain. So we will see the how to compute the long-term capital gain. It is same like short-term capital gain only. So you will take the sales consideration minus expenses on sales, which will give you the net sales consideration. After getting the net sales consideration, you have to deduct index cost of acquisition and minus index cost of improvement. That will give you the long-term capital gain. So how to find out this index cost of acquisition? So for finding out the index cost of acquisition, you will have to see whether the goods or the assets are when it was purchased. If the goods are purchased before 2001, then the formula is, you have to take the fair market value or cost of acquisition, whichever is higher will be taken, divide by the indexed value for the year 2001 and 2 into year of transfer index will be taken. And for the index cost of improvement, it should be ignored. And if the goods are purchased after 2001, then the formula for finding out index cost of acquisition is, you will take only the cost of acquisition, divide by the purchase year index into year of transfer index. And for the purpose of index cost of improvement, you will take the improvement cost, divide by the year in which the improvement has been done. That index you will take into year of transfer index will be taken. So that will give you the index cost of improvement. After deducting that, you will get the long-term capital gain, and minus the exemptions will give you the net long-term capital gain. So this is about the theory for capital gain. Thank you.